I see Chris Dyer standing by, so let's have the conversation about that. Court has suspended all anti-IEBC demos, saying there was hope for a deal with Jubilee on how to move forward with the issue. The coalition says they're now all set for the formation of a bipartisan select committee. Let's speak to Chris Dyer now with some details on that. Chris, good afternoon. So what do we know and what is the next step in the formation of this committee?
Well, a very good afternoon to you and our viewers. What we know is that there've been a long meeting this morning from both sides of the divide. That's CORD and Jubilee, and much ground has already been covered. This afternoon, we expect a media briefing from the opposition CORD just to tell us the next step that they will be taking. What we know is that they've already agreed that from both sides of the coalition, they'll have one representative who will be a non-parliamentarian and who will serve as a secretary to both teams. And we also know that they've also agreed that they'll have 7 members from both sides. And we also know that from 14 members, when it comes to voting, then the 2/3 of the composition of the team, that is 9 members, at least they've agreed on that. And they've also agreed that these talks will be held wherever, if at all, not necessarily within Parliament precincts, but even at the county level. Remember that this committee that will be tasked to ensure that they unlock this IEBC stalemate will also go around the country and visit different counties as they collect views within Kenyans, just to bring on board views from different aspects and different backgrounds regarding the necessary electoral reforms that are needed ahead of the 2017 general elections. So there's good progress, and maybe today and tomorrow we'll be expecting that the list of the joint committee will have already been passed by both teams, so that maybe come Wednesday or Thursday that the list will be tabled in Parliament for approval, and maybe Monday come next week, then this team will be ready for dialogue. Yvonne?
All right, Chris, finally, do we have any, and I know you've given us a couple of timelines, what happens between now and Monday, but as the Joint Select Committee that will be put together, or those who are steering this on either side, do they have some sort of timelines that this must be concluded by a certain date, the talks must be done by date X, and, depending on the outcome, of course?
Of course, they agreed that when they'll begin, the first day when they'll begin these talks, then they will have a timeline of 30 days, that is 1 month, to ensure that they go around the country, collect views, agreed on the amendments or the necessary changes that they need in the electoral process, and then from there bring these amendments to the National Assembly for approval. But of course, they'll have already been signed by the 2 principals from both coalitions, that the president, and on this other side we'll have the CORD co-principal Raila Odinga, who will append their signatures to the motion that this team will have already agreed upon. And from there, then they'll have, at least they've given a duration of 1 month, that all these will happen within 1 month. And by the end of the 30 days when these talks will begin, then they will have already agreed on the amendments, and already these amendments will be tabled before the floor of the House for approval, and then later will just be amending the Constitution where it is necessary, especially the IEBC Act, Yvonne.
Okay, thank you very much. Chris Dyer joining us from our City Centre studio. He has been following this issue regarding IEBC, and of course gives us the latest on the formation of that Joint Select Committee, some light at the end of the tunnel regarding that stalemate there. Chris Dyer, thank you very much as always.